What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking to you about the Blackpill, right? This used to be a niche community that you'd only really see here and there. The mainstream media was not talking about it. The things that really would push the envelope were hidden, right? But now Blackpill is everywhere. You have people on podcasts like Clavicular spreading the black pill mainstream, and it's just really polluting the short form content industry, which, as we know, is one of the key things that really affect what the new generation is thinking like and talking about. Black pill is not the truth, okay? It's Goyslop for weak men, and I'm gonna use their own terminology against them, right? I don't disagree with looks maxing to a standard of looks do matter, and you should be improving your looks as much as you can, doing whatever it takes to improve. But that's not what's happening at the average level of people in this community. People in this community are scrolling past videos and thinking that their life is over at the age of 14, and thus giving themselves the perfect excuse to never pick up a book, never go to the gym, and never really understand actual attraction. Because the truth is, these kids, these people, they want to get women, right? You look at these normal looks maxers, they have no game. They have no understanding of female psychology, let alone their own psychology. So you see people like this guy, Nocturnal Kent, going on stream, completely embarrassing himself. His looks do not even put him in the running because he is so awkward and, not confident whatsoever. And you have average looking people with a certain aura to them, a certain demeanor that sets them apart and gives them that halo effect that the looks maxing community always talks about. But they don't have any of these specific traits. They're just entered the door, but it's really so much more that compounds that people aren't talking about and people aren't willing to discuss or go into depth, because it really requires hard work, right? It requires discipline. And as I'm exiting Instagram, TikTok, closing everything out, because I'm starting to understand that as interesting as this looks maxing content is, it is the perfect excuse to be weak. It is the perfect excuse to be weak. And it really lets you think that you're more intelligent than you are. You see a piece of content, right? You say, oh, wait, I know something other people don't know now. It literally makes you think that you think you understand something that other people don't. And your brain goes, huh, so there's the intelligence check mark. Let's talk about the emotion. Well, you're going to see some ugly little kid and then some good looking guy. Oh, check mark. So there's emotion. So when you combine emotions and then reactivity, it causes a reaction. So people are going to be like, oh, hey, this is stupid, or hey, oh, yeah, this is blah, blah, blah. That reaction is what fuels the algorithm. That's why I think looks maxing content is now the epitome of Goyslop. Right at the beginning of the video, I said looks maxing is Goyslop. And I say that because first we had AI garbage plastered throughout the whole internet. Okay, we had this garbage people were consuming, and the videos started becoming faster, and you have the little fucking Subway servers at the bottom. And now it's gone to a point where every video literally says, hey man, look, your life is over. No need to progress whatsoever. Just go ahead and, it's over for you. Don't go to work. That's really what it implies to these people who genuinely think, these kids, right? Or adults or whatever. What you have is determined. There's no point. And my problem with this, people say, oh, well, maybe it's true. This is extremely, extremely feminine, right? And I'm not talking about people say, oh, this guy's putting on makeup and doing this feminine. Okay, I mean, I agree, but that's not what I'm talking about. Let's look at the original version of looksmaxing, which was women, right? Women did not have any, they had so much extra time all day because the husbands were at work. They had so much extra time. So what were they doing? They were at home and they were bored. Does that remind you of anything? Does that remind you of anyone? Kids who are at home and bored and don't need to work, don't need a job, don't have any sense of urgency to conquer the world and actually dominate something. No, they don't have any hobbies whatsoever. That's what this new short form content is developing. We've had it for more than 5 years now, and we have a whole generation of people with no hobbies whatsoever. Maybe they play soccer, basketball, some stupid sport. You put a man-made ball in a net, whatever, right? You have these people who are replicating these lives of other women because they don't have an actual job. They don't have anything that they need to do and focus on. And so what are they doing? What did these women do in the past? They focused on their looks to an insane extent. Women spend billions of dollars, right? Billions of dollars on plastic surgery, okay? Botox, injections, whatever. But they're consumers, right? They're chasing something that they believe is going to make them look better. That doesn't. It's just not going to. It doesn't half the cases. Sometimes it does, right? Sometimes it does. But what these women are doing is they're actually trying. And okay, so we see men, these surgeries and whatever, they're on the rise as well. But the majority of men that you see Blackpill, which is really just everyone nowadays, every person, every Gen Z individual, because this has gone mainstream to an insanely large extent. These people, they're not even trying to do anything. They're quite literally just, they're doing the bare minimum. They're weird. They're antisocial. I'm telling you, the black-pilled person is the last person you want to be around. And they're everywhere. They're quite literally everywhere. You have kids. I go to the gym, right? I see some skinny fucking kid. They go to the gym with these baggy jeans. Their hair is fucking dyed and shit. They have their eyelashes curled and they're going around like this. And it's just like, it's absurd to me because they're walking around the gym and they're obviously weird as fuck, right? And it's like, okay, I would defend looksmaxing to a point, but it's like they're not getting any girls. They're weird. They're creeping me out. So imagine what they're doing to other people. That's why I want to bring a new pill, okay? I want to bring back the hard work pill. Nobody talks about David Goggins anymore. No one reads books. Every single self-help, whatever channel has just turned into some sort of bullshit, some completely, either theoretical garbage or it's just looksmaxing. Looksmaxing is quite literally a virus right now. And it used to be good when, right, it was underground. Looksmaxing, you used to actually have to do research and do hard work. And now it's just, okay, be a skinny fuck, get lean, and suck in your cheeks. And it's just like, to the outsider, it's like, this nigga is retarded. Like, look, like you have to look at yourself from a second perspective. You're watching other men scrolling short form videos, and you're quite literally, you're probably living vicariously through these people, through these streamers, Marlon, whatever. And you're getting that easy hit of dopamine because you're like, oh, your brain subconsciously thinks, oh, this is my life, so I don't have to work for anything. You literally think, oh, this same with watching porn. Oh, I fucked this girl, but really you're just watching the video and you're fucking jerking your little fucking wiener. You're the same thing with this looksmaxy. So what do? After you're done scrolling, you just sit on the fucking couch. You put on fucking Love Island. You don't do anything with your life, okay? Thinking I touched on everything. Also the other thing I want to discuss, is looksmaxing really? I feel like it's CIA Mossad programming, because it's mainstream everywhere, every podcaster, right? And it's not telling people, real looksmaxing advice, which I can give in the future on this channel if you guys want. It's not giving real looksmaxing advice. It's telling people, yeah, stay a consumer. It's consumerizing everything. And it goes hand in hand with all these stupid products on the TikTok shop, okay, that are quite literally prioritizing or making money off your insecurities. You think a fucking little gua sha is gonna give you a jawline, or this jawline gum. I literally know people who are like, oh wait, is my jawline sharp today? Or oh, I've been chewing the gum. Like, it gets to a point, but then they're lazy. I'm like, you're worried about chewing jawline gum when you're a fat piece of shit. You have man titties, okay? That's half the kids nowadays. And what does that create? The perfect consumer. These people quite literally are just so wrapped up in this philosophical, they think they're some philosophical, intelligent individual. And in the bell curve, you kind of have the bell curve of looksmaxing. And in the middle, most people, they're fucking lazy. They don't get off the couch, and they don't do anything about their lives. And what does that create? The perfect consumer. You're going to accept whatever's programmed into you. Perfect tool for the CIA. Billions of dollars on propaganda, and you don't think that they're pushing this philosophy? And you think that looksmaxing and Blackpill is new? No, philosophers from thousands of years ago have already discovered this, have already talked about it, and you think you're special? No. And it all goes back down to the short form content, the brain rot. You can't read a page without checking your phone, okay? No long-term projects, nothing actually building money, status, success, looks. The gym, it's just too hard. So now let's get into the new pill, the hard work pill that I talked about. Instead of saying I'm weak, what if you said I'm going to go train? What if you said, no one respects me. It's because I'm this, or I'm short. Why don't you learn how to fight and become a fighter? Okay? I'm behind in life. Just grind harder. Everybody, this is the philosophy that black-pilled people don't understand about life. And that's why they're so behind. And that's why I'm grateful for the black pill now that it's mainstream. At first, I was like, oh, this is stupid. But now I'm kind of grateful, right? Because black-pilled people think, and black people, let's be honest, they think, oh, life is behind. I'm set farther back than this other person. I'm just not going to work as hard. So what happens? The winners keep winning and the losers just stay losers, consumers. Why do you think streaming exists? Who in their right fucking mind, instead of working on something that they actually enjoy, that they actually build, they build for their future, they say, oh, no, let me log in the twitch.tv. Oh, Marlon. Because they live vicariously through Marlon. They think all their life experiences are through Marlon. Marlon is an extremely good-looking individual. But the truth is, he's not funny. He's not really funny whatsoever. He doesn't really add anything in terms of entertainment, actually, like, if we're being honest. But he's a good-looking guy. And so what does that build? That builds just a bunch of followers, right? And so really what happens is with the black pill, as it progresses, we have an over feminization of men. And what is this? Okay, over feminization. What does this mean? Aside from them, curling their fucking eyelashes, putting on fucking makeup and just calling it sunscreen, we have psychological effects that make it really hard to talk to normal people, right? Really hard. Especially these brain rot people. They have obsessive self-comparison. They're always comparing themselves to other people. These are some of the worst people to even talk to. It's impossible. And they're retarded. You think they're retarded. Everything is about aesthetics, right? It's not about, actually hard work or anything mental. All they care about is aesthetics, and to be honest, they end up looking uglier. I'm not gonna lie. I could talk about it in a later video, but you have emotional spiraling. You have extreme anxiety, extreme depression. I know somebody who would go around so black pilled. He thought he was like this new thing. He knew it's just him. He knew about this fucking guy's chopped. I'm not gonna lie. He's calling everyone recessed, maxilla, whatever. Recessed chin, all this bullshit. And he was telling me, he sat down, right? He's like, bro, like, the worst anxiety ever. My hair is falling out. My anxiety is that bad. And it's like, I couldn't tell him, like, it's kind of related in a sense. And you have these people. This guy is worshiping me because he thinks, because I'm tall and pretty good looking. And he's doing the thing that the streamers do. He's living through me. And it got to a point where it's like, I couldn't hang around this kid anymore. He'd start taking videos of us together and posting it on fucking stories, platforms, all this, embarrassing me. But I mean, sure, I didn't really care. But, the second, these people are so messed up in the head, and it all comes back to this short form content, which is produced Blackpill, but really is just a broader lens that we can look at current society at. And this kid, once I completely cut him off, finally for good, was talking the biggest shit about me ever, telling everyone just random shit. Oh yeah, man, he left me. He's such a bad friend. He talks shit about people. Like that's just like, if you know me, I'm not really a big shit talker. And just making that up is just like, it's kind of weird. So these people are people you have to stay away from. I'm telling you right now. Honestly, it's going to be, if you have to stay away from everyone, lock yourself in your room, you might have to just do that, because these people are dangerous and they're going to take you down. And if you're forced to stay around them, college, whatever, don't tell unnecessary details. Keep your life to yourself, right? Just be an observer, right? And let's be honest here. If it was truly over for you, you were born in a fucking wheelchair and your face was deformed, even then, right? You wouldn't be watching self-improvement videos. You wouldn't. They wouldn't be so popular. The fact that you're even watching this believes that you don't think it's over. So you got to join my fucking journey, because I teach becoming the best version of yourself physically and mentally. And I teach that one-on-one. You can find the link somewhere. But as I said, we have the most dangerous generation of men, not physically, okay, but they're overinformed, overstimulated. We have some of the highest potential ever, and yet we spend our times sitting on our fucking ass, okay, doing nothing. So if you're deep into this shit, if you can relate to what I'm saying whatsoever, if you want to level up physically and mentally, I do one-on-one calls. So just put a comment below, or I'll put a link somewhere and we can figure some out. Till then, I'll see y'all later.